plane high above the Pacific, four young people endeavour to snatch a moment's rest before beginning yet another concert tour of yet another country. This time, however, it's home again. For the Seekers, it's Christmas in Australia. Athol Guy, aged 27, whose foresight launched the group some 5 short years ago. Judith Durham, aged 24, whose amazing voice gives the group its unique sound. Keith Potker, aged 26, whose skill with the 12-string guitar has played a major part in the instrumental arrangements of the group. And Bruce Woodley, aged 25, who has established himself as a composer of promise, having contributed several songs for the group. Together, they comprise the most famous group ever to leave Australia. Now seasoned entertainers, having performed in all the major entertainment centres in the world, they are home again, to see their families, to perform, and perhaps to remember.
Close the door, light the light, we're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away, just leave us alone, and we'll live in a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else.
For Athol Guy, his first memory must be of a small coffee lounge in Melbourne, for it was here that the Seekers first realised that they had a sound, an identity.
We didn't know how good a sound it was, but we did discover here that people wanted to hear it. We sang only on Monday nights. That was supposed to be the off nights. A good time to hide a group away without ruining business. Looking back now, when you're on top, it's easy to say that it was all working out for the best. But you know, it could so easily have been otherwise. I guess we owe a lot to those people who stopped clinking their saucers when we started to sing.
This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, don't carry none but the rights and the holy. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train don't carry no gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no gamblers, this train. This train don't carry no gamblers, no hypocrites, no midnight ramblers. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, don't carry none but the rights and the holy. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train is built for speed now, this train. This train is built for speed now, this train. This train is built for speed now, fastest train you ever did see now. This train is bound for glory, this train.
This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, don't carry none but the rights and the holy. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train don't carry no hustlers, this train. This train don't carry no hustlers, this train. This train don't carry no hustlers, good time gals or midnight rustlers. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, don't carry none but the rights and the holy. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train don't carry no extras, this train.
This train.
This train don't carry no extras, this train.
This train.
This train don't carry no extras, don't carry nothing but the heavenly specters. This train and bound for glory, this train.
This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train and bound for glory, don't carry none but the rights and the holy. This train and bound for glory, this train. This train, this train, this train, this train, this train and bound for glory, this train.
It's a funny feeling. You do feel something click inside when you make good. It's hard to explain, but the sound of that spontaneous applause, it's like a sixth sense that says, maybe. I don't know. If we had to start it all over again, whether I'd have the courage. There was such a long, long way to go from that time at the Treble Clef.
But start it did. And the boys are the first to admit that their luck turned with the arrival of Judith in the group. By sheer chance, she took a job at the advertising agency where Ethel worked.
My sister had actually told him about my singing, and at that time the boys were looking for a girl to join them. However, typical Ethel, he'd promised to hear me, but had never got around to it.
Hello, Ethel.
Hi.
Morning, Ethel. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Is it? Finished typing those copies for Mr. Peyton yet?
Yes, there they are.
Oh, good morning. Who knew around here?
Yes, I'm Judith Durham. Are you Ethel Guy?
Yes, Judith Durham. They wasn't supposed to come and hear you sing sometime.
Yes, you were.
Well, there's no one around.
Oh, I think you'd better finish your coffee first.
And so the group was complete. At the age of 14, Judith Durham had ambitions to be an opera singer, but this was not to be. She became interested in traditional jazz and gospel singing, and this early experience played an important part in establishing the Seekers' sound. The jazz influence is still a strong element in their performance today.
I feel so bad in the morning. I feel so bad in the middle of the day. I feel so bad in the evening. That's why I'm going to the river to wash my sins away. I'm gonna lay down my heavy load down by the riverside. Down by the riverside, down by the riverside, I'm gonna lay down my heavy load. Down by the riverside, I ain't gonna study war no more. And I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. No, I ain't gonna study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. Put on my long white robe down by the riverside, down by the riverside, down by the riverside. I'm gonna put on my long white robe down by the riverside. I ain't gonna study war no more. No, I won't study war no more. Ain't gonna study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no more. No more. Ain't gonna study no. No, 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 no study war no more. I ain't gonna study war no
Just to promise you
more. This was a toil and snare.
Their last performance in Australia was on the In Melbourne Tonight television program, and the telerecording of this performance was a big factor in their eventual acceptance overseas. But their first problem was to get there. This was made possible through a job on the Fair Sky, a ship of the Sitmar Line, on which the Seekers were to earn their passages as nautical troubadours.
I was dead scared. I mean, it's one thing to hope you can sing to all these people, but we also discovered that as well as singing, we were supposed to act as instrumentalists for the shipboard dancers. But in a way, it proved the best thing that could have happened. It made us develop our instrumental ability beyond the limitations of pure accompaniment. It seemed that all the time, circumstances were helping to prepare us for the important days ahead.
I think we really ought to think about what we're going to play tonight, don't you?
What do you want to sing?
Well, we could do When the Stars Begin to Fall. That's a nice quiet one.
Yes, I think. Okay. Well, we'll finalise it all when Keith comes in.
Okay.
Look, I must tune this bass up.
Are you in tune yet?
No, well, I can't tune up yet. Oh, sorry.
Hello, all.
Good day.
What are we doing tonight, then?
Well, why don't we do Walk, Don't Run?
Good, good.
Well, let's...
Like that one?
Yeah, let's try it.
Okay, 3.
No. Sorry, I started wrong anyway. Let me count it in. 1, 2, 3, 4.
My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. You will weep for the rocks and mountains. You will weep for the rocks and mountains. You will weep for the rocks and mountains. When the stars begin to fall. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. You will hear the shout of victory. You will hear the shout of victory. You will hear the shout of victory. When the stars begin to fall. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. My Lord, what a morning. When the stars begin to fall. When the stars begin to fall. When the stars begin to fall.
Our success on the ship was most heartwarming, but we knew that really meant nothing. You see, being accepted by relaxed tourists is not the same thing as interesting, hard-pressured recording agents. So we didn't really plan to stay in England any longer than the 10 weeks turnaround period of the ship. As far as we were concerned, we would be heading back for home in a very short while. Little did we know.
The first attempts to be seen and heard were rather disappointing, simply because they had arrived at a time when most agents had their summer programs fully booked. But they had not reckoned on a man by the name of Eddie Jarrett.
Look, I've just seen a group from Australia. Yeah, I can't help having a hunch about them. Oh, well, no. I can't exactly explain what it is, but I've been in the game far too long to ignore a feeling as strong as this. Anyway, I told them to go off and have a couple of days sightseeing and then come back. Well, yes, I suppose I could be wrong. On the other hand, I could be right.
It so happened he was right. He showed the telerecording of their Melbourne performance to the powerful London producers, and before long, they were appearing on the BBC television show Tonight. Then the cancellation of an artist through sickness took them to Blackpool.
When first we left old England shore, such yarns as we were told, as how folks in Australia could pick up lumps of gold. So when we got to Melbourne town, we were ready soon to slip and get even with the captain. We scuttled from the ship with my swag all.
It seemed everybody around us was getting sick and leaving vacancies that had to be filled, because no sooner had we finished in Blackpool but we got our big break. Somebody else had taken ill, and this left an opportunity for us at the London Palladium.
West of Ballarat, where some of us got mighty thin, and some got sleek and fat. Some tried their luck at Bendigo, and some at Fiery Creek. I made a fortune in a day, and spent it in a week. With my swag all on my shoulder, Black Billy in my hand, I traveled the bush of Australia like a true-born native man. So round the Tucker tracks I tramp, nor leave them out of sight. My swag's on my left shoulder, and then upon my right, and then I take it on my back, and oft upon it lie. These are the best of Tucker tracks, so I'll stay here till I die. With my swag all on my shoulder, Black Billy in my hand, I travel the bush of Australia like a true-born native man. I travel the bush of Australia, like a true-born native man.
And so the Seekers, by a series of fortuitous accidents, had not only been baptized into the tough circuit of English show business, they had also been successful.
And the funny thing is, after all this, we were still expecting to get back on the ship at the end of the 10 weeks to return home. But Eddie had different ideas.
I couldn't really describe what it is that they had, but the evidence was there. People did like them. So the obvious step was to get them a song to record. But would it be the right song to interest a recording company? Well, that's the sort of thing that gives you sleepless nights. I only knew one thing. I had to try and keep them in England long enough to give them a real chance. Come in.
Morning, Chief.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, Eddie.
How are you?
Eddie. Go in.
Look, I've got something here I want you to listen to.
Well, it better be good at 10 o'clock in the morning.
It is. By the best songwriter in the business, Tom Springfield. Oh, where's Judith?
I thought she was meeting us in here. No, she's at the dentist.
I'll give her a call and she can listen to it over the phone.
Right.
Regent.
Can I turn it up a bit?
And I'll be there
Well?
someday.
Sounds good, I like it. Yeah, not bad.
Morning, can I speak to Judith
I'll
Doran?
take it
please?
home over the weekend.
Oh, well,
Judith? Athol. I want you to hear a song that's been written for us by Tom Springfield. Okay?
For I know I'll never find another you.
The last take was very good, but I'd like you to do another one, then you can come in and hear them both. So stand by. I'll never find another you, take 8.
You ready? Right, let's make this the one.
That same afternoon, he heard the first reaction to the song from the recording company. They were confident it would prove a hit.
How was it?
The disc was released to the public on December 4, 1964, just 6 months after the Seekers had landed in the UK. By February 1965, it had topped the charts, had been awarded a gold and silver disc, and finally it reached the top of every pop chart in the world, selling in the region of 2 million copies in the 1 year. And even now their popularity shows no sign of waning, and all this without gimmicks or even a changing pattern in their songs. According to the laws of the entertainment business, especially the pop section, a singing group rarely survives for long. Perhaps Judith Durham is part of the reason.
I'd been singing at a jazz concert, and I thought that as an encore I could sing the Lord's Prayer. I really don't know why, but the atmosphere seemed just right. At first there were a few titters and whispers from the audience, but then I realised something was happening, and they became absolutely still. You could have heard a pin drop.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever and ever.
Judith became known to the English public as that girl with the Seekers, the girl with the long dark hair and the big voice. They seemed to take to her immediately.
I think people want to protect her as much as anything.
There she is, flanked by these three hulking brutes. You can almost feel the audience saying sometimes, "You look after her, you great bruisers."
The friendship is real, and the respect each for the other is also real. It reflects in their teamwork. The feeling is evident in the simple and the wholesome quality of their music.
Train whistle blowing makes a sleepy noise. Underneath their blankets go all the girls and boys, rockin', rollin', riding out along the bay. All Somewhere there is morning town, many miles away. Rock and roll and ride out along the bay, all bound for morning town, many miles away. Rock and roll and ride out along the bay, all bound for morning town, many miles away.
I sometimes worry a little that I might lose track of myself. And by that I mean my sense of individuality as a person. It helps being with the others. We can each act as a reference point for one another. But with all the traveling, you lose your sense of time, age, space. Practically all your senses are put under the strain of being disoriented. That's why I look forward every year to getting back home. Home reminds me who I am, and I feel this is important. We've seen many people in the game lose this feeling of who they really are. They believe their own publicity, they believe in their number on the charts, to an extent that if it ever should stop, they stop as people. Every time we go home, Keith and Bruce come with me. And we go down to our old school, which holds some very fond memories for the three of us.
School, usually something most kids hate, is important because if you remember why you hated it, you can appreciate what life has brought to you later on. I think I felt uneasy at school because this thing of competition, what are you going to do with your life, bears down on you. And this isn't just the atmosphere of the school. Ours was a great one. It's the pressure that a 15 or 16-year-old kid feels. But now I can see that pressure was important. I was no scholar, but I did feel I had to find myself in something. If not at school, then later on.
It's funny. I always think the kids who are a success at school often sit back and say, well, that's it, I know I'm all right. A lot of them burn out their ambition and you never hear of them again. The late starters, they sometimes find their day arriving years after they leave.
But it does help me to think of school, even if only to fully appreciate one's charmed life.
One day, Mr. Physical Fitness is going to forget where he is and do some push-ups in the middle of a concert. One day. I wonder where we'll all finish up. Maybe the group will never break up. Maybe we'll still be touring in 50 years' time. And then what?
I hear the music of the world turning, can't you hear the sound of the world turning? If you stop and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. I hear the music of the world turning. There are some folks laughing, there are some folks crying. It's playing street sounds sweeter than a choir. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. I hear a symphony of traffic in the city. There are horns blowing, there are heels a clicking. Hear those ash cans rattling as the sun begins to rise. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. We write special song for each and every day. It's got the big dancing and the clapping. Now don't just ignore it. There's a concert all around you. All you gotta do is listen to hear the music of the world turning. Can't you hear the sweet sound of the world turning? If you stop, look and listen, you can almost hear things grow. You can have music wherever you go. You can have music wherever you go.
Oh, what's wrong?
Oh, it's all right. I just had an awful dream.
Frightened me to death. How are you going?
All right.
Your move.
Oh, come on, Bruce. Can't you see I'm trying to concentrate?
I'm writing some background music. Ode to a checkmate.
But you do have to grab an idea for a song the moment you hear that phrase, and it can be very awkward.
Hey, fellas, help, quick!
What's the matter?
You got the cramp?
No, I want some paper.
Here I
Oh, no, manuscript paper!
Oh, why don't you say so?
Manuscript. Manuscript.
Thank you.
He's writing another song.
The goose may lay another golden egg.
Look, get Judith and we'll try this.
Judith?
What, in here?
You know what I mean.
Is it a good song?
Get out.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, cheers again.
Great, cheers. Great meal.
Has somebody got a pen, please? Quick.
Hang on. Yes, there you are. Thank you. Shh. He's at it again.
Fly to the milkman at my doorstep, bustle my neighbor at a tea. In all the world no one's so glad to see the sun as me. Angeline is always Friday, Angeline is spring forever, winter Angeline could never be. Mr. Wilson, old and smiling, lifts his cap as she is passing, bowing her politely onto me. The week is gone, it's lonely way. I've waited for my only day away from shadows in her sunlight. I can tell her I love you, Angeline. Angeline is always Friday, suitcase on the rack above. She hasn't even read her magazine. Angeline is counting stations till the one where I am standing, waiting for my only Angeline. gone its lonely way. I've waited for my only day away from shadows. In her sunlight I can tell her I love you, Angeline. Climb to the milkman at my doorstep, bustle my neighbor at a tea. In all the world no one's so glad to see the sun as me.
The week has gone its lonely way, I've waited for mine.
Is that bit of the chorus, is it?
Well, it's a little of both, actually. What's this bit here?
Angeline is always...
Come on. No, no.
Your move. I've got you in check, didn't you notice?
Oh, sorry, I was miles away.
Keith Potger's employers once upon a time didn't encourage his show business career. He was wasting his time and should be settling into a solid routine job. But Keith was a rebel, a 007, and had to resort to devious means to escape detection if his bent for singing was to continue.
Don't worry, Ed, he'll be here.
Yeah, I'll be nervous wreck for you.
Oh, right. Sorry.
That's all right.
It's okay.
It's the same old
You
problem.
give me glasses.
You right? In tune? Fair enough for folk music, mate.
Off you go.
Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat. Lemon tree, very pretty, and the lemon flower is sweet, but the fruit of the poor lemon is impossible to eat.
Lemon tree,
Very pretty,
lemon tree,
very pretty.
lemon
But now, his judgment vindicated, he finds he can take a vastly different view of life.
Checkmate.
No, thanks, mate.
And so, each with their separate story to tell, but known to the world as simply the Seekers, they land in Australia to begin their fourth triumphant return home since it all began in 1964.
Close the door, light the light. We're staying home tonight, far away from the bustle and the bright city lights. Let them all fade away. Just leave us alone, and we'll live in a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own that no one else can share. All our sorrows will leave far behind us there. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own.
Oh my love, I cried for you so much. Lonely nights without sleeping while I long for your touch. Now your lips can erase the heartache I've known. Come with me to a world of our own. We'll build a world of our own
when we live in a world of our own. And I know you will find there'll be peace of mind when we live in a world of our own.
I can't seem to get my sleep now any old night. Mr. Sandman passes by my door. Life has changed since you've been there to say it's alright. You taught me to understand what I thought couldn't be. Don't mind missing sleep if I can see colors of my life. You got love to fill my heart. I don't need a rainbow with colors of my life. Colors of my life. Colors blend with love to show I'm happy with you. I can never be the same again. Now my eyes are looking past the life that I knew. I'll be shedding black and gray to take on red and blue. Colors I can feel like touching you. Colors of my life bloom like flowers in my heart. Loving you has shown me colors of my life. Colors of my life bloom like flowers in my heart. Loving you has shown me colors of my life. Colors of my life. Colors of my I may be a rich man's daughter and have servants of my own. I can snap my fingers and I could have anything I want. Sometimes I look out my window, see lovers hand in hand walk by. They see the diamonds I wear, but not the tears of envy in my eyes. Oh, when will the good apples fall on my side of the fence? When will I taste the sweet fruits of life? When will the sun smile for me through gray cloudy skies above? When will I find my true love? Well, my daddy says don't worry, and my daddy says just wait. I'm gonna find you a rich man's son and bring him to our gate. Sometimes I look out my window, see lovers hand in hand walk by. Daddy doesn't know it. There are some things that money just can't buy. Oh, when will the good apples fall on my side of the fence? When will I taste the sweet fruits of life? When will the sun smile for me
will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. Like a drum, my heart was beating, and your beat was sweet as wine. But the joys of love are fleeting, for Pierrot and Columbine. Now the harbor light is falling. This will be our last goodbye. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I die. Though the carnival is over, I will love you till I
Bye.
Hi.
Oh, I still can't believe it's all happened.
Well, I've got the scars to prove it.
Time then for the pleasure of a family Christmas to yield to the call of audiences the world over. This time taking with them the highest award given in Australia for citizenship and achievement. For each of them, a gold medallion, which complements the nature of their success more than anything else. You see, in January 1968, the Seekers were honoured as the 1967 Australians of the Year.
Hey there, Georgie girl, swinging down the street so fancy-free. Nobody you meet could ever see the loneliness there
inside you.
Hey there, Georgie girl, why do all the boys just pass you by? Could it be you just don't try, or is it the clothes you wear?
You're always window shopping, but never stopping to buy.
So shed those dowdy feathers and fly
a little bit.
Hey there, Georgie girl, there's another Georgie deep inside. Bring out all the love you hide, and oh, what a change there'd be. The world would see a new Georgie girl. Hey there, Georgie girl, dreaming of the someone you could be. Life is a reality, you can't always run away.
Don't be so scared of changing and rearranging yourself.
It's time for jumping down from the shelf
a little bit.
Hey there, Georgie girl, there's another Georgie deep inside. Bring out all the love you hide, and oh, what a change there'd be.